Let's just try to square down a bit into groups. Dennis, we'll start off with Group A. Group A: Ghana, Guinea, Namibia, Morocco. Were you surprised?
I was surprised.
Ghana, Guinea. Were you surprised?
Well, I was expecting Ghana, Morocco.
Just a moment. I've just got to tell my viewers that we've got the pictures of Ghana, Guinea, their highlights after that Group A matches. We've got their highlights.
Yeah, as I was saying, I was expecting Ghana, Morocco. I thought Morocco has been a very good side in the past, and they always come with a good pedigree of, having good players. They got Haji, but I think they just didn't have it together on the day. I mean, they started off Britain, as you say, 5-1. They beat the other team, so I'm quite surprised that Guinea's got through. But then again, in this Nations Cup, I don't think there's any small teams. Everybody's out there. Even South Africa, that had a fairly young team, seem to be doing very well.
And we're going to come to South Africa a bit later, but surprisingly, we both played the first game, the opening game, Ghana, Guinea. We've qualified from that group, Ghana, Guinea, and those are the pictures in your shot right now. 2-1, it ended for Ghana. Tom, I'm sure you watched that one back in London, live.
Yeah, really good game, actually, very interesting. I think Ghana were very unlucky. I think they hit the post 3 times in the first half, and there's that one header which came off both posts and couldn't believe it didn't go in. And I think if that early goal had gone in, it could have been very different. Ghana could have really run away with it. But Guinea, grew into the game.
So that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one there. Yeah, I mean, Guinea, I guess, maybe began to believe more and more as the game went on. They looked good. They didn't look overawed by the occasion. They deserved their goal completely, I think. And if it wasn't for a fantastic strike from Suleiman Tari, then could have been a real upset. A 1-1 draw would have put the pressure on Ghana. But I hope Guinea do well. I would love it if they beat the Ivory Coast.
It'd be
great for the competition to have. There's quite often in these competitions one team that really does well that you don't expect, and maybe Guinea are that surprise package this time. So
probably the way Greece did back in 2004.
Yeah, exactly right.
And the captain's name?
Pascal Fendoun.
Yeah, fantastic player.
Yeah. He was the man of the match for this game.
Agree. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had to pick a red card in the second game.
So he's back for the quarter-final?
No, he's missing 2 games because it was a straight red card. So
of course they
misses 2 games.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Misses 2 games. But I thought, Dennis, we had, it was one of those games I watched and I thought the Ghanaians had a lot of chances. We did create a lot of chances. It was just down to hard luck we couldn't get it. Look at this header from Michael Essien. Everything done properly.
Listen, they did everything. They just couldn't get in the net. I mean, as the coach said, 3 chances. I mean, to hit the post 3 times in the first half, you've done a lot, but it's football sometimes, you still got to keep at the same pace, just keep on going to the 90th minute.
Yeah, 91st,
and that's why,
Muntari's goal,
Muntari had a late strike and it did one. Also, you got to remember the opening game, so there's
so
quite a lot of
pressure.
Yeah, opening games are always a little bit cagey, you got to take time to, to settle down and everything else. So I think the minute you get the opening game out of the way, everything else is fine.
But what does a strike like that from Suleiman Tari in the 91st minute show us for us as a team, as Black Stars?
I think quite often, again, big team against smaller team, if you like, big expectations, smaller expectations. It's the big players that are the difference in these games. It happens in the Premiership all the time, it happens in World Cups all the time. It's the team that have got somebody that can score a goal out of nothing that often is the difference. So Guinea can work hard for 90 minutes and they can cause problems, especially from set pieces. They look dangerous, but quite often it's the player who's got somebody who can do something a bit different, who can strike a ball from 25 yards into the top corner, and that's the difference between the favourites, the team ultimately that go on to win the tournament, and the lesser teams. And how often in the really big games of World Cup finals, you get the really big players, the Zidans, the Ronaldos that really win the tournament for a team. So, Essien, Mentari, they can do that for Ghana this year.
And I'm not surprised about Mentari either, having seen that goal. I mean, we've been watching him for Portsmouth this season in England, and particularly a couple of goals against Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah.
So he's got a fantastic left foot on him, and he came with a big reputation from Udinese, so that's what he's in the side for.
Great signing.
And I'm sure that's what you're talking about. Look at it again.
Here it goes, yeah.
That's what you're talking about. Fantastic left foot.
Great technique, yeah. Maybe should have been closed down a bit quicker, but tired legs in the last minute. That's and as I say, that bit of extra quality really There's a difference between a point and
not stopping
3
that.
points.
And that's attitude. That's like attitude, because of course you've got just the clock ticking. You've got like 2 minutes to go, and you still believe you can strike from that distance. But that's the game between Ghana and Namibia. A lot of people did expect that Ghana was just gonna whitewash the Namibians, but it was one of those games that there were not too many goals, and people were so disappointed in the Black Stars.
Yeah, again, I mean, it's again the same thing. The pressure's so much on the home tournament, and you know, talking just now about Cameroon and how sometimes you don't hit your top form until the end of the tournament. I think against Morocco, okay, Morocco didn't turn up really, but Ghana looking stronger every game. So they've got the quality players, you know, they've got enough in there.
That's Agogo.
Yeah,
Agogo,
of course, yeah. Obviously, look, just ready to just tap in. Yeah. Sometimes you need ugly goals. I mean, Tim, you know, most of the African players do like to have, you know, a little bit extra, walk the ball into the net. But sometimes, I'll be honest with you, you just needed,
Scrappy goal.
You do need an ugly goal in football. And sometimes I think teams need it. Like my team, Arsenal, we need an ugly goal sometimes.
Not often.
Yeah, you
They always do have the lovely ones.
Yeah.
But that partnership of Agogo and
Asamoah,
that looks good. I mean, Agogo does a lot of work for the team, there's a lot of running, holds the ball up, and they complement each other very well, so that might be something that really clicks later on in the tournament.
Someone nearly doing what he did in the very first game. He's got fantastic left foot.
Yeah.
Great player.
Great player. Has spare season in English Premiership. Is going on well.
Yeah, he's been one of the buys of the kind of last summer, I think. I think Harry Redknapp was very good at spotting talent that maybe other people have forgotten about. You know, he did make a big name for himself at Juventus, but you know, maybe never quite developed there. But straight into the Premiership, first season, quite often it takes players a little while, especially players who may be playing in Serie A, which is a very different league to the Premiership, much slower. But straight in there, and there's been talk about him moving to Liverpool, and he's a good player. He's a great left foot.
A team like Namibia lost the first game 5-1. They lost against the home team 1-0, and they drew their last game. A lot more like an improvement, getting to the end of the tournament, like their last days in the tournament.
I think Namibia are probably quite pleased just to
their second time at the Nations Cup.
Yeah, it's the second time they've ever been in the tournament, so it's a learning curve. You can't expect to come to a tournament like this now when some of the West African sides in particular are so full of top world talent to be able to have a huge impact. I think it's a learning curve for the nation and for their coaching structure and the players to go back and improve upon it, qualify again, qualify for a World Cup maybe. But it takes a lot to be able to progress once you're in a tournament.
Yeah. Okay, but that's the last game between Ghana and Morocco, and believe me, that was a very quick thinking.
Yeah, straight off the training pitch. They've worked on that, no doubt. That's a very clever run from Etienne, left to right, in behind the wall. Takes a lot of skill with delivery as well to drop it in over the wall there, catch the team out, and a great finish.
Spectacular finish. Yeah. This is the first time I've seen the goals on TV actually.
Because you watched it live.
Yeah, we were in the stadium. I was just behind when that first goal went in. So
that was the second one.